It gives me great pleasure to be here with you all once again here today. And I especially thank the people who have come from Suva and my Maramatau, Merisedi. And if you will remember, those of you who are here in 2016 when we opened this lovely building, that was a gift from the Australian government, that she was here as the chief guest at the Minister for Women of the last government. She no longer is there, but I'll talk about her later on. So this is a great occasion for all of us, for me as the coordinator of the Crisis Center, that one of our branches, Labasa, is marking 30 years. But before that, I also want to talk about the 16 days of activism. You must have seen it all over the place now. Everybody knows about it. This campaign was started in 1991. I'm a founding member of it. I'm very proud of that. I represented the Pacific at the meeting of women at Rutgers University in America, where women from all over the world, 23 women from all parts of the world, we met and we talked about the high rates of violence against women, rape, domestic violence, dowry deaths, female mutilation, genital mutilation, sexual harassment, child rape, all those things. So we talked about it and we said that it's time the world recognized this as a violation of human rights. That is why the dates are the 25th of November to the 10th of December. The 25th of December is the International Day of Protest Against Violence Against Women. And the 10th of December is which day? The students? World Human Rights Day. Yes, International Human Rights Day. So, and we link many other days together that fall in that time. And of course, we have on that day, I have to refer to my notes. You know, I'm getting a bit older, not a bit, quite old. So I have to refer to my notes now. So these days are on Friday, we will mark International Women Human Rights Defenders Day, where women like the counselors who work here and many other women who work to defend people's rights and so on, or even doing work in their own communities to protect people, to safeguard people. It is their day, Women Human Rights Defenders Day. 30th of November is, 1st of December is World AIDS Day, and that is when we look at women, and we look at it with a gender perspective during this campaign, and we are looking at rape, marital rape, and forced sex, and so on, which also contributes towards AIDS. And then on 3rd of December is International Day of People with Disabilities, and that also we will mark, looking particularly since our work is inclusive of women, children, and boys and girls with disabilities. 6th of December is very important also. It is White Ribbon Day. We call it the Montreal Massacre. Montreal in Canada. On that day in 1985, on the 6th of December, a man shot dead 16 women, engineering students, shot them dead because he felt engineering was not for women. And those women had gotten into the engineering school, so he just shot them dead. So the man in Canada said, we have to do something about it. And they said, this is the day when we men take responsibility for our violence against women and girls. And we pledge that we will not do it. So that is how the White Ribbon campaign came about, so that 6th of December. And then we have 9th of December, the International Day of Commemoration for the Victims of the Crime of Genocide, where we think of all the countries where genocide is going on and where the women, children, everyone is suffering, we're all for them, but particularly when there are wars and killings of this nature, women and children suffer the most. Women, girls, and children suffer most. And of course, 10th of December is International Human Rights Day. So that's how the 16 days is linked. It's a campaign that started in 1991, so it's 33 years now that we have this. And now Rutgers, that Leadership Institute has closed Every year they used to take out a theme. We in Fiji always took out our own. This year, for the first time in Fiji, government and women's feminist movements like the Fiji Women's Crisis Center, Fiji Women's Rights Movement, we have come together with our own theme. And that theme is from prevention to justice, ending violence and impunity against women and girls in all spaces. Okay? So we gave the part of ending impunity. That means a lot of violence goes on in our country, but a very small number is reported. In Fiji, of course, we know that 3 in 5 women suffer from domestic violence. But though so many women, girls, and children, we all know the stories. Some of us in this space here today are survivors, if not actually living it right now. Many people haven't been very fortunate. In the last 11 years, 53 women have died through domestic violence. This year alone, we had 2 women die at the hands of their partners or husbands, and 1 child died. A little 2-year-old child also died, being caught up in the domestic violence. So impunity means that though so much of this violence goes on, perpetrators, people who do these things, often go unpunished. And when they go unpunished at every level of society. I'm not only talking about law enforcement, that is a problem in itself, but by the communities where we blame women if they are raped because of the way they dress, where they went to, how they behaved, and so on. And the perpetrator gets away. Where we do not support women who are raped, children who are raped, we're always protecting the perpetrator. Also, in law enforcement, ongoing challenge is working with the police. I know there's some very good police officers who are here and who do good work, but there are many others, particularly in the last 16, 17, 18 years, we've had terrible problems where they refuse to acknowledge the violence, even though we've got wonderful laws, Domestic Violence Act, we've got the Crimes Act and so on, around rape and so on. Even though we've got those people often do not respond to it. So we've got one of our good police women coming in now, Sadama, and she's been with us for many, many years. So then even the justice system does not support women often. In the courts, they do not get the justice they require. And also within our political system, in our governments, often people protect, powerful men protect men who are working at the upper echelons of government and so on, businesses and so on. So there's a lot of protection. So a lot of perpetrators go unpunished. Therefore, the theme has got end impunity and not punishing perpetrators. So that is this year's theme, and there are many organizations now. What we have achieved, we haven't achieved in bringing down violence against women. We don't know. We haven't done comparative studies, but by the data we are collecting, it doesn't seem so. And new things are coming in, climate change and its impact on violence against women, on gender inequality, and so on. We have got technology-facilitated violence against women and girls, online violence. We also now have a new issue coming up, very dangerous one, emerging issue, and that is the role that drugs play in violence against women, particularly sexual violence and physical violence, and so on. So all these things are still coming up. We haven't been able to bring it down. But these campaigns, what they do is they make everyone get involved, like all of you who marched today. I'm so glad to see that, and congratulations to each one of you who marched today. And it shows that you do care, and we must all care. If we don't care, then we can continue living like this. Ourselves, our children, our grandchildren, and so on. We'll continue living like this. So everyone is participating. I've seen government people here, as well as CSOs, people who've come from as far as Taviuni and other parts, Bua and so on, who are all here, our male advocates, our female advocates, the women's groups we have been in touch with, and other people. A lot of young people are here today. So that again is a great thing. So it's all you're participating. From a small group of women, the first time we marched on 25th of November was in 1986 and in Suva. And there were only about 30 of us or 40 of us. And most of them were our families. We pulled our children along, called our aunties and so on. Small group of women marching through Suva. Now when we march, we get over 400, 500 people. Today we have got all of you people here that march now throughout. So that is increasing. And it only used to be CSOs. But now everyone is getting involved. The governments, our development partners, everyone wants to know about it. Everyone wants to do something during this time. And this campaign has actually put violence against women, and of course the hard work of the feminist movement throughout the world and in Fiji, that has put violence against women on everyone's agenda. So that is what this campaign does, and I hope that you all will be marking this next year again. Now I just want to talk a little bit about the Labasa Women's Crisis Center, which is marking 30 years today of its existence and serving all of Vanua Levu. And when you do get a chance, also go and have a look at all the places that they have been building. It started because of the will of one woman. Some of you might know her. She's not here anymore. She's in Australia, Bimla Wadu. And she and the late Rinieta Ratawa and some other women from Labasa attended the first ever meeting that was held in Fiji in 1991 on ending violence against women in Deumba. So we looked for some women leaders and we found Bimla and them. We knew them. We called them over to that meeting. She came back and she called us. We went to Raketi first, then we went all over the place, because she comes from there. And we trained women, we raised awareness throughout, and we trained some counselors. And she started doing this work from her own home. Her house is somewhere nearby here, and she started there because we didn't have funds for that at that time. 1992, 1993, 1994. So she was working out of her house, paying for the phone, the transport, whatever money we had, we used to send over. In 1995, the skies opened, and someone from the Canada Fund decided that they would give us some money. It was good work. They gave us some money, and we opened our premises in rented premises downtown. And then from then on, and then the New Zealand government has been supporting the Labasa Women's Centre and all our branches for the many years they've been around. And this branch itself has been supported over the last 25 years on $5 million. That's what it took to set up this place. And then later on, a few years ago, about 6 years ago or so, 8 years ago, about 8 years ago, the Australian government came in and said, we'll buy the buildings for you. So that is how we own this property. And give them a clap. And also a car. So Labasa Centre also has got a car. So when you go in there, you would see all the places they have been to. And there are many, many people who have come and gone. Bimla's no longer with us. Rinieta's no longer with us. We also have had Sarah Mbongitini. Teresia is supposed to be here. I don't know if she's here or not. The late Bimla Madhavan. These people have led this place, and now we have got people like now Aseri has taken over. We've got Angeline, who's been here for a number of years, and Sonam. These are the old batch left, and the new ones have come in and taking the place forward.